So, as we're a few days out from the Summer Games Fest, CD Projekt Red has been dropping some interesting information for Cyberpunk Orion, their studios and earnings, as well as Phantom Liberty. This isn't all though. There's also a rumored leak of the Phantom Liberty release date. So, if it turns out to be the hardened facts that I believe they are, then we are in for an extremely hype release. If you'd like to keep up to date on Cyberpunk 2077's lore, mysteries, updates, and overall future, I'd suggest subscribing to my channel and taking a look at the rest of my content. Without any further delay, let's dive into all of this information. So, about 1 week from today, CD Projekt Red hosted their Q1 2023 earnings conference. Usually these are to provide the positive results they've experienced in their developments, financing, etc. Despite being aimed towards investors, there's a lot to pick up from this specific conference. First of which being that the rumors of Sony's interest in purchasing the company were quickly dispelled. Clearly CDPR aims to remain an independent company, and you can't exactly blame them. Many companies have tanked and fell under the greed of disconnected parent companies that previously only bought them out to gain a profit, and without any knowledge on how to handle the situation. I'm sure it's a weight off their shoulders to not have to entertain these types of rumors anymore. CDPR also confirms further, of course, during this report that Phantom Liberty will be appearing at the Summer Games Fest Play Days on June 8th. The event will be completely live streamed and begins at 11 p.m. Pacific time. So mark your calendars, as not only will Phantom Liberty be receiving some love, but a variety of other studios and games will be there as well. It's pretty much this year's E3. If you're the type of person who isn't a fan of live events, you'll be waking up the next day with a lot of information and trailers. So be prepared either way if you weren't already. And finally, the conference provides us further insight to Cyberpunk Orion's development. While we already knew the Cyberpunk sequel, codenamed Projekt Orion, was already announced, we had no information on its intended development, besides that CD Projekt Red North America, a newly formed Boston-based division comprising the existing Vancouver team, and the core developers of Cyberpunk 2077 would be responsible for the game, the team reportedly consisting of 350 to 500 people. It seems that this transition has been going to plan. According to the studio's management, the work on the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077 will begin at the start of 2024. The studio has already incurred expenses associated with Projekt Orion, and these costs are obviously expected to rise as the game progresses into its initial production phase. This is an early phase of development that's technically pre-production, so the game may not actually release until a few years afterwards. The fact remains though that this is great news, essentially meaning that Orion's development is starting as soon as possible after Phantom Liberty, meaning that unlike many games that don't see a sequel for 8 years, Cyberpunk fans shouldn't be in a similar boat. Though, who am I to say? I think we can all agree though that CDPR should take its time and release the game in a complete state. Let's avoid repeating history. So, that's essentially what you'll be taking away from the earnings conference, but there's more for those building hype for Phantom Liberty. There's been a Phantom Liberty tour announced for the community. Here's a rundown. Wake up, chooms. In June, we'll reveal some hot info about Phantom Liberty. To ensure your enthusiasm doesn't fizzle out, we'll be inviting you to a Phantom Tour, a series of events around the world dedicated to showing the expansion to our community. More deets coming soon. CDPR shares a list of 8 separate countries around Europe and Asia in which they'll be visiting. We even have the home of Ozab, Brazil. What I can piece together is that this is the community playtesting opportunity that CDPR was previously speaking about, back when they announced their appearance at the Summer Games Fest and press playtesting. They claimed as well that there would be an opportunity for the community to playtest, so I believe it should be assumed that this is the opportunity. I'm a little disappointed all these locations are so far from me, but I will cope. So this tour should be pretty exciting and act as a follow-up to the Summer Games Fest, as well as lead up to the public release of Phantom Liberty. This would make sense, as we've actually had a rumor release date for Phantom Liberty this week as well. The claim comes from Tyler McVicker, hopefully I am pronouncing that correctly, a leaker, streamer, and YouTuber. He dropped the release date of Phantom Liberty during his most recent livestream on YouTube. Since he already predicted the DLC's presence at the Game Awards 2022, which turned out to be true, he gained a lot of credibility for further announcements and leaks regarding Cyberpunk 2077. The claim is that Phantom Liberty will be released during August of 2023, a bold claim, but it falls right into place where a lot of fans have been expecting it. What makes a release in August of 2023 such a unique opportunity? Well, it's that Johnny Silverhand's raid on Arasaka occurred August 20th, 2023. So to release the expansion on this specific date would be an insane amount of hype behind the community. It would make the release date feel special and connected to the in-game lore. I'm really hoping they make use of this chance and don't miss the mark. Though, if development calls for it, of course, I wouldn't want them to push the release just because of this date. So, let me know all your thoughts down below. Are you excited for Summer Games Fest and the Phantom Liberty release? Do you agree with the idea that we will even be seeing it drop in August? Or do you believe it'll be later in the year? Drop those comments down below. I plan on hosting a watch party as well for Summer Games Fest, so we can all experience it together. As always, thanks to all the channel members on screen. I appreciate the support and it helps me produce the content I love. I hope you all continue to enjoy as I make progress to improve. And as always, have a great week, chooms.